Wildwood Heritage Glen has been absolutely killing it with fifth wheel floor plans lately. Last year in 2025, they came out with the Roost 43, which is easily one of the best fifth wheel destination homes that I've seen to date. In this year, they have this beauty right here, the 380WDR. This is a bath and a half floor plan with a full laundry room, a huge walk-in closet up front, and a gorgeous rear living floor plan in the back. I'm excited for you to see it, so let's head on in. So one of the things you'll notice right away, and we'll kind of see this as we go to the outside, or around the outside a little bit later, they just do, they have a lot of small touches like the latch extend right here, just to make it a little bit easier to get into the coach. But they really do a lot of things on the outside just to make life easier in general, especially when it comes to any kind of troubleshooting issues. But as we step inside, I mean, one of the things that I think they have definitely nailed down is the aesthetic. I think Heritage Glen has an absolutely beautiful look to it. It's clean, it's elegant, it's not, overly done. I think they just do a really good job, and everything just seems to be very appealing. Also, it's a lot of like earth tones and neutrals, so you can do pops of color like green over here, whatever else you want, and kind of just make the space your own. We'll kind of start over here on the campsite, work our way around. This obviously is a pantry. These are all going to be removable shelves here, but I do like that they have a big pantry. I mean, this is huge, right? Like, I don't know, hand for comparison, right, size-wise, but that is a very large pantry right off the bat. And it's an interesting spot to put it because most of the time, manufacturers will put the pantry like over on this side of the kitchen over here, or maybe like right here. But as you see, they have the workstation area here, like all of your prep and sink. And that way it's more of just a table in the center, which I actually really enjoy. I think this is kind of how it should be, right? Is like family and friends coming together, being the center point, the focal point of camping and hanging out, and that's exactly what they did. They also kind of made this space different, right? They give you a built-in desk right here. So if you're doing any kind of work from home, or if you just want a place to, do a puzzle, or you can just decorate whenever you want, you have this space, electrical outlets there as well, and it does have some drawers, which, is going to be necessary for any desk. Then moving over a little bit further, you get into like a love seat situation right here. I don't think this drops down. Oh, it does. I stand corrected. So that does drop down, so you have a little bit more of like theater seating if you want that. Cup holders there as well. It looks like some USB charging ports in there too. That way you can kick back and relax, and as you'd expect with any rear living, that is going to be directly across from the TV, which as you can see is behind me with the fireplace. We'll get to that in just a second. But you'll also notice the windows. I really like the window coverings they have on here. I'm starting to see more and more manufacturers go to these, but the reason I like them is because on the other side there's a foil that helps reflect heat and keep it out. It reminds me of like what you would put in your car window, right? Put up front where it's reflective to help keep the sun out. That's exactly what these window shades are going to be doing. And then as we kind of move around to the back, also, I forgot to mention, there is screens, right? Because I know some manufacturers, they have like this on one part, and then you bring this other half up for like a screen, but this one already has screens built in, so this would just drop all the way down. It's honestly probably a better system. What they're using in here is the better system. You also see right in the back, you have a tri-fold sofa, so that folds out if you want some additional guests, otherwise, or rather overnight guests, otherwise just some great seating there. End tables on both sides, electrical outlets, USB ports, pretty standard fare there. Good storage across the top. This is something that oftentimes I think a lot of people overlook is how far the storage comes down. Like if we take a look at this, I mean, these are big cabinets, right? I've seen a lot of manufacturers which just kind of stops here and goes up just to try to save a little bit of money. But that's not at all what they did with Heritage Glen. They give you this massive storage all the way across the back that is going to be quite usable. Then across the way, as promised, that is the TV. Right underneath is like your mirrored fireplace. Size on this TV, what do we have? Looks like a 50. So 50-inch TV there, pretty darn good. And then there is, it's magnetic there, there is storage behind it as well. So not only do you have that pantry next to the door, we have kind of like a hidden pantry area back here for all of your good snacks or whatever else you want to hide. Right up top is going to be a wine rack. You also have a 16 cubic foot fridge freezer. This one, of course, being 12 volt. Just kind of show you the space there. Fridge on the right, freezer on the left. And then this is your travel lock. This just screws in. Let's see, they have it right up top. So after you shut both doors, you'll screw this in and that will keep it shut so it doesn't open up while you're going down the road. Now in this center, as I mentioned, this is going to be your kitchen island, essentially. But the thing I like about this, as I mentioned, is it's just a table. And I'm a huge fan of this. I like the wood grain. I really think it goes just aesthetically, again, very well with this coach. You also have a leaf you can pop up here on the end. So if you need a little additional space, you need, a few more guests, you want to be able to sit 6 here or possibly 8 if you put some people on the ends. This is big enough to do that. Again, there's just not a lot of floor plans that can seat 8 people at one table and still have everything else this coach has, but they're able to do it here in the 380 WDR. Now, as we take a look over at this side, as I mentioned, a lot of times this is going to be just like a coffee hutch area. But because we're not utilizing that kitchen island for your sink, this is where they put your workstation sink. And it does have everything you need, right? I mean, just like your normal workstation sinks. You have like the colander here, you have the vegetable rinser, glass rinser, pull-out faucet, soap dispenser, everything you would want. Solid surface countertops throughout in the kitchen. Again, probably as you expected. Good storage underneath. Take a look at that. Like, yes, the bottom is taken up, but you still have pretty good storage there as well as up top. But I think the most impressive part down here is going to be this. Yes, that is an optional dishwasher. That's definitely a big space saver, not space, a big time saver right there, right? I know it's a lot of people want a dishwasher. Most floor plans can't have them. A few of them can. This is one of them. Having that optional is great. And the backsplash, it's not real tile, but I really do like the look of like the herringbone. Again, I think I think whoever designed this coach did a great job putting the color scheme together. As we kind of go up the steps into the front, I did just want to show you right here. That, of course, is going to be your tankless water heater. And this is what I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Yes, that is right. This little side room is your laundry room. So you have washer and dryer side by side. They actually put solid surface in here. I'm pretty impressed. Most manufacturers try to go a little bit cheaper and will do a thermoformed in here instead. But I really like that they kept with the solid surface. Huge sink here. So it's kind of like a laundry room or utility sink. You also have a towel rack, some storage underneath. But take a look at over in this corner. Yes, this also doubles as a half bath. That makes this just an incredible use of space. You have some hanging racks up here if you need, maybe like broom or something, right? You can probably hang it off to the side. I don't think it'll hit you on the toilet. Some additional storage right up top here. And then you have this hanging rod. So if you need to dry clothes, you just want to hang some clothes to dry, you can do that. Plus you have the shelf up top. And, I know what you're thinking, Ian, you have a dryer. Why would you hang clothes? Well, I'll tell you, I love my wife to death, but half of her clothes we can't dry. We have to air dry. So I understand it, and I like that they put that in there. If you take a look kind of going up a little bit further into the bedroom, you have the floating steps, which is nice, simply because you can put some stuff under there. You can utilize that a little bit if you need. And then when we step up into the bedroom, I mean, again, this is like a killer ensuite. I think they just did such a good job on this coach. We have the slide out bed right here. We have windows on both sides for that cross ventilation. This looks like a queen. I would have to double check. I don't think it's wide enough to be a king, but don't quote me on that. I can double check and see exactly what we have. Maybe an Olympic queen, maybe it's in between. But we can see over to the side there, we have USB ports as well as electrical outlets. You're actually going to have the same thing right over here. So that way, if you have like a CPAP machine, or again, you just need to charge a phone, a tablet, you have the capability to do that. And then as we come back over here, I like this too. You have your dresser, right? Place for clothes. And you get like this cute little powder area. So if you need to put makeup on, this is actually a really good spot to do it, because not only is the mirror right here backlit and you have the cute little cushion, the little seat there, but you also have natural light coming in right here, which is going to be good when you're putting on makeup, just to, again, have that better idea of what you look like. Then as we step into the rest of the ensuite, here it is. You get the double vanity, and this countertop is large enough that the double vanity actually makes sense. Like, both people get their own space here. You have great storage underneath. Open this up just to kind of show you the size and depth of those drawers. So you have a ton of storage there. You have the towel hanging rod right there, or rather loop. And then, hey, there I am. You can see the nice big mirror. And once again, this is backlit too. I really like what they have done. And because of that reflection, we're able to see over across the way, porcelain toilet right there. One-piece shower, which again, I really enjoy in a high-end coach. Less chance for leaks, right? The shower pan and the surround are all one. You don't have a seam right down here. You also have the teak seat in case you need to sit down. An actual usable shelf. Most of the time in these showers, you just get, something like this right over here where you may be able to put a bottle of soap, but this right here is actually functional. Pretty standard fare for the hand wands, and then up top is going to be your skylight. Now, as far as space, I always like to show, kind of in real time, like what it is when you're in here. And at 6 foot tall, as you can see, I have good space, right? I mean, I could probably be 6'2", 6'3", and still be able to stand in here. Without the skylight even, I still have maybe an inch, right? I could probably be 6'1" and still be able to fully stand in here without utilizing that skylight, which, props to them for having such high ceilings. I mean, again, you can kind of see up in this bedroom, which, this is the front part. A lot of times, you don't have a lot of headroom, especially in a mid-profile, which this is not, it's a full, but especially in a mid-profile, it kind of comes down. We have plenty of space for this full walk-in closet up front. You also have the line lights all the way throughout. That's something that I do like to mention, because those, I think, do a really good job of lighting things up. But as we take a look at this front walk-in closet I was just standing in, look at this. You have a hanging rod going all the way across here, so tons of storage. You also have the dresser space. You can see that there's a clothes hamper for dirty clothes. Plug in if you need to plug anything in over there. Amazing shoe storage. And you have a bench, so you can sit down and be able to put your pants on, your shoes on, whatever it may be. So much storage up front here. As I said, this 380WDR, in my opinion, is probably the best floor plan for a fifth wheel in 2026. It's certainly the best I have seen. Definitely let me know your thoughts. We'll go outside and check that out real quick, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the construction features. But let me know your thoughts on this coach. Are you with me? Do you think this is one of the best floor plans you've seen? Do you like the color scheme? What would you change? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. But in the meantime, let's head outside here. I do just want to show you, some of the outside features. And again, we kind of saw inside I don't know if you can see it up there, but we talked about the reflective backing. And so you can kind of see that there where it's keeping the heat out. You also have the square tinted windows there as well. Nice big power awning. You'll have two of those, one covering the main, the other one attached to the slide out. So basically your whole campsite is all going to be covered. Now, as we come into the garage, again, Heritage Glen does some things I really like. One of them, this one does have optional auto level. To my knowledge, auto level on the Heritage Glen fifth wheels is an option. I know a lot of manufacturers it's standard. That is one thing I want to point out. When I looked it up, it looks like that was optional. This one does have the 30 amp solar controller for the optional 200 watt solar panel up on the roof. And then you will see the battery disconnect here. Love this. They have a little bottle opener. That'll probably get used more than it should by me. But as we take a look in here, something that I really like they've done is you will see like these little latches kind of all over. Well, what that is that's going to be different access points. Like take this, for example. You drop that, this now swings open, and look at that. You need to work on your furnace? Man, how easy is that? Rather than having to crawl around and find it inside, or having to work through like some small cabinet door, you have this whole space right here. If you need to, you can take this out very easily. I think that is absolutely wonderful. And the other side, if I make my way over there, I'll show you, but there's another one right here. You can drop that, and that's where your water pump is located. Again, an item that commonly has to be worked on. I think that's really great they did that. And this right here is unique too, because you can drop this, fold the wall down, and then that gives you all the open space up front, right? It opens it up for all this additional space up here. Let me open this up for you real quick just to show you. There is a spare tire up here. There you go. So, that whole gray section right there would drop down and, again, like I said, open all that up. But you do see that there you have the spare tire right there. Over to the side is going to be the battery box. And as previously mentioned, this one does have the auto level option. You know what? While we're over here, let me scoot around. Propane tanks here. Open that up just to kind of show you, maybe. Jeez, oh Pete's. There we go. So you have two 30-pound tanks, as one would expect. Tankless on-demand water heater. I would be shocked if it was anything else in this day and age. And as we open this one up, here's going to be kind of like your wet bay. Cable, satellite, outside shower there. You can see obviously black tank flush, your fresh tank city water fill. But as we open this up, oh, and easy winterization. Take a look at that, as promised. See, right there it is. There's your water pump. I love just how accessible it is, as well as a lot of your plumbing, right? All of your main plumbing, your main fittings are going to be right there. I just think that's smart design. You know, I guess I don't know what else to say. If you've owned an RV, you know that sometimes things happen. You have to troubleshoot. And one of the hardest parts of that, in my opinion, right, is just finding where it is, where to go, where to find it. But Heritage Glen made it incredibly easy. Speaking of that, if we drop down underneath, something else I want to show you is the underbelly. Take a look at that. They call that the accessibelly. This is probably one of the easiest systems to access anything underneath. If something goes wrong and you need to access that underbelly, you can just drop these panels. They're individual panels, and you can actually drop those out to be able to access that underbelly rather than having to cut a hole in it. Again, just one more thing, one more way they're looking out for you. You can see your propane quick connect will be here. So if you have a Blackstone griddle or something like that you want to hook up, it does make it super simple. As far as the entry, we kind of looked at that a little bit earlier, but you have the MORryde step above steps, the larger grab handle, and the Lippert latch extend that comes with it. You can get that third party if you really like that and you have a current fifth wheel. That is an item that Lippert sells and we sell at our stores too at Camping World, but that does make it a little bit easier to enter the coach. Taking a look at outside entertainment, we have 2 JBL speakers as well as a TV. Again, love this, and as I showed, that will of course be covered by the awning right here. And then as we head to the back here, a couple last things to point out. Excuse me. One of them is going to be right up top, and that is your ladder prep. So this is a fully walkable roof. You can get the telescoping ladder to be able to crawl up there, and you can see you have backup camera prep in case you want some extra visibility and with a coach this size, that may not be a bad idea. You'll also see that you have an accessory hitch right back here. This is not for towing, folks, but it is good for 300 pounds. So if you have a bike rack that you want to be able to attach or some other attachment, cargo carrier, something like that, that's a great one to do it. Again, I truly believe that for 2026, this is probably the best fifth wheel floor plan that I have seen yet. Let me know your thoughts. For price and availability, there will be a link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.